This is a special presentation of Riverfront Broadcasting Sports. It's time for Post 8 Baseball on today's KCCR and today's KCCR.com. Post 8 Baseball is brought to you by Evermore Boutique, Wagner Auto, Oahe Federal Credit Union, Service Master, and Rising Hope Counseling.
Dean, outdoors right field. That one is going to get out for Bennett Dean. 5 runs driven in.
Post 8 Baseball is also brought to you by Todd's Electric, Pierre Sports Center, AirTech, Gales Gas, Avera, Bank West, and B&B Equipment.
Zabel on the 3-0, outdoor center field. That's far, that's gone. A 3-run homer for Grace Zabel. And it's a 3-1 lead.
Post 8 Baseball is also brought to you by Overhead Door Company, Gateway Ford, Lincoln, and Toyota, Birding Electric, Olson Plumbing, and Agtegra.
Here's a fly ball out to left field. Going back on it deep is Rue. He's going to turn and watch it sail over for a home run. And Andy Gordon, his first home run of the season, first home run of his career.
Post 8 Baseball is also brought to you by All Around Graphics, First Dakota National Bank, CommTech, Shane's Pharmacy, Black Hills Federal Credit Union, Midwest Cooperative, South Dakota Weed and Pest, Nystrom Electric, Dakota Sprinkler, and Lamb Motor.
The 2-1 pitch. Stout out towards right field. Did he get enough of it? Is it going to go? And walk off. Grand slam for Garrett Stout.
Post 8 Baseball is also brought to you by Kathy's Sun and Shine Properties, Sioux Nation, Kruger Contracting, HOMECARE Services, and Fischer Rounds. And now, with the call of today's action, KCCR award-winning sports director, John Winkler.
And from Hyde Stadium, we welcome you into a doubleheader, the first of 3 doubleheaders in the next 4 days here at Hyde Stadium as Pierre Post 8 takes on Watertown in the first of these 3 doubleheaders. John Winkler alongside Greg Dean. And Greg, as Watertown comes in here today, they are 3-1 in their last 4 games. And oh, by the way, those last 4 games took place the last 2 days. So they're coming in with 6 pitchers that are not available to throw today, which is somewhat good for Pierre, but they're also dealing with a little bit of some soreness, some injuries. So their pitching staff is a little light going into this doubleheader again here today too.
Yeah, this certainly shapes up as a potential for a day where there could be a lot of offense. As you said, this is the 3rd doubleheader in 3 days for Watertown. So at some point, in all likelihood, we don't have a lineup yet from Watertown as they were late in arriving, but we expect that they will likely go with Cale Stevenson, who probably is their ace. And he will go in game 1 as we just got a lineup card handed to us. Cale Stevenson in game 1 today, and then after that, I think it's anybody's guess as to what they have potentially left in their bullpen after Stevenson.
And for Post 8, they have no Bennett Dean as well as no Matt Hansen available to pitch today. Everybody else would be available, but it's going to be a little bit lighter of a bullpen. Jack Van Camp still also not available today. Brady Getz will get the start in game number 1, and it's been hot the last couple of days. So if you're Brady Getz and you know that these guys have been able to These guys have played quite a bit in the last couple of days. It's important to get out ahead, but not just for Pierre Post 8, who has been struggling to find the strike zone. It is everybody needing to come in and step up and play here in this ball game.
Yeah, and right now I think what Post 8 needs is just a little dose of confidence right now. Just they just have not been able to find and be hitting on all cylinders right now. The things that were very good for them throughout the spring season. They were very good offensively. The bats have struggled a little bit, especially, not so much from an average standpoint, but just from a timely hitting and a power standpoint. And then the pitching and fielding have been just off. right now, the collectively as a team, the pitchers are averaging over a walk an inning, and then the team has been averaging about an error and a half per game. I mean, that's up from what it was in the spring season, and so right now I think collectively right now they're just in a little bit of a funk. The upside is we're just over a week into a long grind. This is about a 50 game regular season for Post 8. This is, even though it's 3 doubleheaders in 4 days, this is kind of the last easy week for them, because beginning next week they go through a stretch in the second half of June where I think they play at least 19 games in 13 days.
As it's going to be Pierre Post 8 taking on Watertown here in this ball game. As we continue with the pregame show, we'll step aside for 3 minutes. Come back with 3 minutes. We'll come back with more of the pregame show. You're listening to Post 8 Baseball on today's KCCR and today's KCCR.com.
Insurance. We all need it to protect our homes, health, businesses, and belongings. But having adequate coverage is just the beginning. You also need the support of professionals who stand by your side to protect what's important to you. Fischer Rounds & Associates combines the coverage you want with the commitment you need. Fischer Rounds & Associates. At your service, at your side. With offices in Pierre, Mitchell, Watertown, Sioux Falls, and Rapid City.
BankWest Insurance has the expertise and resources to deliver personalized service and customized solutions. As an independent agency, we shop dozens of companies to get you the best coverage at the best price. As your trusted choice for insurance coverage, we promise to go the extra mile so you can rest assured your loved ones and your assets are protected. Contact your local agent to put BankWest Insurance to work for you.
Not a deposit, not FDIC insured, not insured by any federal agency, not guaranteed by any bank, may go down in value, equal opportunity provider.
HOMECARE Services is a private agency committed to providing expert advice and specialized care to those who want to remain living independently at home. HOMECARE Service has a team of nurses, caregivers, and administrative staff that offers a full range of in-home support services to our area. For more information about HOMECARE Services, call 224-2273. Expert advice, professional care. HOMECARE Services, 224-2273.
At Black Hills Federal Credit Union, our top priority is providing value to our members. Since 1941, we have helped our neighbors buy homes and vehicles, finance their farms and ranches, insure their assets, and retire comfortably. From Custer to Sioux Falls, we live and work in our communities, and we treat our members like family. Visit bhfcu.com to learn more about how you can join. BHFCU is member-owned, not-for-profit, and federally insured by NCUA.
Building a home. It's the biggest investment most of us make in a lifetime. Not to mention it's a decision that, well, you pretty much live with day and night. The quality of the workmanship stares back at you like a reflection. It also affects the value of your investment. Choosing the right contractor is critical. Kruger Contracting is that contractor. Call 222-2523. Quality workmanship and materials completed on time. Kruger Contracting. In a word, quality. Call 222-2523.
Sioux Nation of Fort Pierre knows what that sound is. It's baseball season. They also know that means it's grilling season. Sioux Nation has the Green Mountain Grill choices that you need for those hot dogs and burgers for tailgating. And let's be honest, you know there will be a steak in there too. Visit Sioux Nation of Fort Pierre and see their selection of grills. While you're there, also pick up some seasonings for your grilling needs. Visit Sioux Nation at 504 Deadwood Street, Fort Pierre.
As we welcome you back here to Hyatt Stadium as we are getting set for Game 1 of this doubleheader between Pierre Post State and Watertown, as we'll go through the starting lineups. First for it'll be for Watertown, as it will be Zach Hirsch, the left fielder, to lead things off. Andrew Chick, the second baseman, will bat second. Dawson Schmidt, the center fielder, will bat third. Braxton Locker, the catcher, batting fourth. Cale Stevenson, the pitcher, batting fifth. Braden Zong, the right fielder, batting sixth. Jared Cyrus, the third baseman, batting seventh. Cade Russell will bat eighth and play right field. Play first base. And Jack Heesh is the shortstop as he plays bats ninth for Post State. For the eights on the mound, it is going to be Brady Getz, as Getz will get his first chance, his second chance of the season, second start through 3 innings in his first time out, went 3 hits, 7 runs, 7 earned runs, 6 walks, 3 strikeouts, 16.33 ERA. So, Greg, again, it's going to be trying to limit the mistakes. He had those 6 walks, and he gave up those 7 runs in 3 innings. That ERA is inflated because it's very, very early in the season, and quick chance for him to drop that down with a successful outing here this evening.
Yeah, and we saw Brady Getz have numerous good outings throughout the spring season, which he parlayed into a second-team All-State award in the postseason from the high school baseball association. So Brady Getz, obviously a quality pitcher, and actually had just had 1 bad inning when he threw earlier this year. Just the wheels kind of came off against in the second inning in that start, and it just one of those times when sometimes pitchers just can't find the strike zone, and just had too many walks in that inning, and so you just chalk it up to the 1 bad outing, and so we're looking for some good things out of Brady Getz today.
As it will be Zach Hirsch to lead things off, the left fielder, as he will be the leadoff man for Watertown here in game number 1. We are set for baseball as the first pitch. We are ready once again here for baseball. The first pitch from Brady Getz to Zach Hirsch is over for strike 1 as we are underway. First pitch is at 5:08 here on this Wednesday evening. As Getz will work from the windup, here is the 0-1 pitch from Getz to Hirsch. That one also taken for a strike and is quickly 0-2.
95 degrees at first pitch today. Partly cloudy skies here at Historic Hyde Stadium. Watertown comes in the all-gray uniforms with purple caps, dark numbers and letters, and outlined in yellow for the eights today. They're wearing the black tops with the gray pants, green and black caps, green numbers, green lettering across the chest, and green piping across the shoulders of the uniforms.
Here's the 1-2 pitch outside, and it's now 2-2. Watertown is 3-1 so far this week. They played 4 games. It was 2 Monday, 2 yesterday. They had a comeback win against the number 2 team Runner. They scored 7 runs in the 7th inning as Hirsch swings and misses in the 2-2 pitch, and there's a strikeout to open up the ball game. As that will bring up Andrew Check, the second baseman. So we're going to talk about some of these guys, what they did in the over the course of the last 4 games. Andrew Check is one guy that is trying to find any way to drop in base. He's 0 for 11 in the 4 games so far this week. He's a guy that would take any kind of hit right now to get him back. Still early in the season, although Watertown's more mid-season form in terms of their Legion seasons. The first pitch is over for strike 1 to Check. He's just cannot buy a base hit right now. He'd like to buy a vowel to get on base.
Yeah, Watertown made the decision to not field a high school team this year, so they started early with their Legion season and actually already have 28 games under their belt, 16-12 coming into today in comparison to Post 8, who's 2-4 coming into today. Although if you couple the 20-6 record that the Pierre High School team had, this is actually game number 33 for most of this lineup today for Post 8.
As the 0-2 pitch misses low, and it's now 1-2 here to Andrew Check, the second baseman, the number 2 hitter in the lineup. 1 down here in the top of the first inning. Here's the 1-2 pitch from Getz. That one's fouled back and out of play, and we'll do it again here at 1-2. As we will go through the defensive positioning here shortly for Post 8. Here's the 1-2 pitch from Getz to Check again. There's a ground ball back to Getz. He'll field. Overhand throw to first base to Bennett Dean covering, and there's 2 down. As that'll score 1-3. For Post 8 out in left field, it is Jack Merquan. Spencer Lutler is in center field. Isaac Pollock is in right field. Andy Gordon at third base. Matt Hansen at short. Jaden Wiebe at second, Bennett Dean at first. Kate Hinkle behind the plate, and Brady Getz on the mound. Good to see Spencer Lettler back in the lineup. He left Sunday with a precautionary shoulder injury, still trying to, take it easy on that shoulder, and he ended up leaving the game, but is able to play here 3 days later. First pitch is upstairs for ball one to Dawson Schmidt.
And I think that's probably going to be kind of an ongoing storyline. That shoulder is just kind of tender, and so you just hope that Spencer Lettler can maintain and work his way through the rest of this post-8 season.
The 1-0 pitch is upstairs, and it's now 2-0. Went from Andrew Check to now Dawson Schmidt, who's 8 for 13 this week. 5 runs driven in with a home run and also a triple in those 8 hits. 2-0 pitches fouled back, and it's now 2-1. He, along with Braden Zog, who we'll talk about here, he's batting 6th in the order, have been the 2 best hitters for Watertown in the last 4 games. Here's the 2-1 pitch from Getz to the number 3 hitter, Dawson Schmidt. That one's just maybe a little bit outside, maybe a little upstairs, and the count's now at 3-1.
Schmidt, certainly one of the better basketball players for the Arrows last winter. Multi-sport athlete, very talented athlete.
3-1 pitch. That one's grounded down to the third base line. Fielded by Andy Gordon. Throw to first. It's a 1-2-3 inning for Post State. And Brady Getz. As we head to the bottom of the first, Pierre and Watertown, they're scoreless as Post State will come to the plate. You're listening to Post State Baseball on today's KCCR and today's KCCR.com.
Shop online at lambmotor.com. On lambmotor.com, you'll find the vehicles Lambs has in stock. You can schedule a test drive or your vehicle's next tune-up. New or used, shop for it all online, anywhere you are. Lamb Motor has the right vehicle for you. Lamb Motor in Oneida and online, lambmotor.com.
This is the life. Sitting here, sipping lemonade, basking in the warm sun, and admiring the beauty and the solitude of my very own landscaped backyard. I wasn't sure, but I was so glad when I made the call to Andy at Dakota Sprinkler and Landscaping to finally have the work done. Calling Dakota Sprinkler and Landscaping was probably one of the best and the easiest decisions I've ever made.
Dakota Sprinkler and Landscaping, 280-4440. That's 280-4440.
As we welcome you back here, bottom of the first inning, as Post State and Watertown a battle here in a doubleheader, as it will be the lineup for Post State. Kate Hinkle lead things off. He's catching. Jaden Wiebe at second, batting second. Andy Gordon will bat third and play third. Bennett Dean will bat fourth and play first base. The cleanup hitter, Spencer Lettler, out in center field batting fifth. Jack Merkwan, the left fielder, batting sixth. Matt Hansen, the shortstop, batting seventh. Gary Nedved will DH and bat eighth. Isaac Pollock, the right fielder, will bat ninth. As that rounds up the order for Post State, as they will go against Cale Stevenson, who is in the order, also in the batting order, but he might be their best guy, is Stevenson. Again, but they don't have 6 guys available today. They've had 6 different guys throw more than 40 pitches to not be able, and more than 30 pitches to not be able to play here in this ball game, or these 2 ball games today. But Cale Stevenson is available, and I think Coach Ryan Neal is going to be wanting him to probably go quite the distance here in this first game.
Yeah, if you look at Stevenson's numbers as you cruise through their schedule, I mean, he's a big strikeout pitcher. He notably will go
as Cade Hinkle will sky the first pitch out to right field, backing up on his Zog. He'll make the catch, and there's 1 pitch and 1 out here in the bottom of the first.
Yeah, Stevenson routinely in that high digit. In fact, I saw one game, I don't remember exactly who it was, but actually had a 16 strikeout game earlier this year. So Stevenson likely, even though we don't have season stats for him, likely is the ace of this post-17 staff, and so we'll see. You got to look for him to be right around the strike zone all day long.
Here's the 0-1 pitch to Jaden Wiebe. That's upstairs for ball 1. As Wiebe comes in batting 200 so far, 3 runs driven in. Looking for that first extra base hit of the 2021 season. Here's a 1-1 pitch. It comes inside, and it's now 2-1. These two teams played last year, and they just played once last year as they played in Watertown. It was a 3-2 win for Post 17. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Upstairs, and it's now 3-1.
Part of a triangular with Fargo Post 2, who at that time was the defending national runner-up, and unfortunately for Post 8, lost that game to Watertown 3-2 on a 2-run home run by I don't remember who it was, but Watertown hit a 2-run home run in the bottom of the 6th and ended up winning that game 3-2.
Yeah, that was a tough one to lose, and then they end up falling to Fargo Post 2 in the next game in a walk-off fashion where they nearly no-hit them. As that 2-2 pitch or 3-2 pitch is fouled away by Wiebe. The umpire thought maybe the catcher had caught it. We got to see the strikeout pull before he ready for it. Always fun to see umpires whenever they call strike 2 act like strike 3. 3-2 pitch. There's a swing and a miss, and Wiebe goes down on strike. So their first 2 have retired in order to bring up the number 3 hitter in Andy Gordon.
Yeah, what we've seen out of Stevenson so far is that he's got decent velocity, not overpowering velocity, but really mixes in the off-speed stuff, and it's the off-speed stuff that got Wiebe on the strikeout pitch, so that's likely the pitch that he will go to when he's ahead in the count.
First pitch to Andy Gordon's upstairs for ball 1. Gordon comes in hitting .391 for Post 8. So far, just 2 runs driven in. Here's the 1-0 pitch. That one's at the letters, and it's 1-1. He was the team-high RBI total man in the spring season. As the 1-1 pitch from Stevenson to Gordon. It's upstairs and is now 2-1.
Gordon's been swinging a hot bat through the first week of the season for Post 8. Like you said, .391 average, second on the team, and in batting, leads the team in hits with 9.
As that one is out of play, and they now 2-2. Here in the bottom of the first inning, no one on base yet. 2 away. In a scoreless ball game. Here's the 2-2 pitch from Stevenson. Gordon swings and misses, and he'll be the second strikeout of the ball game from Stevenson. A 1-2-3 inning for Stevenson to counteract the 1-2-3 inning from Getz. So we've played 1 full inning, waiting for our first base runner. No score between Watertown and Post 8. You listen to Post 8 Baseball on today's KCCR and today's KCCR.com.
Nystrom Electrical Contracting in Pierre has been providing professional sales, service, and installation since 1977. Whether you're starting from scratch, new construction, or you're upgrading your current system at your home, farm, or office, give the professionals at Nystrom Electrical Contracting a call. They've got a lot of bright ideas. Call Nystrom's today to schedule a free computer-generated estimate. The number is 224-8750, or visit their website at nystromelectric.com.
The Association of South Dakota County Weed and Pest Boards reminds all landowners and managers to look for and control noxious weeds this spring and summer. The receding water levels have provided new areas for noxious weeds to establish. Infestations that are found and treated early reduce the cost of control. For help identifying and controlling noxious weeds, call your county weed and pest supervisor or the South Dakota Department of Agriculture. Remember, good neighbors control noxious weeds.
As we head into the top of the second inning, 4, 5, and 6 for Watertown and Braden Locker, Cale Stevenson, and Braden Zog will be the first 3 hitters for Post 17. I want to call them the Arrows, but I don't believe they're actually the Watertown Arrows. I think they're Watertown Post 17, kind of like Pierre's not the Governors, they're Pierre Post 8. Always throws me off, especially, last summer I had no problem with it because I didn't have a spring season to go through. This summer is going back to the way it was in 2019, where I struggled to get rid of some of those nicknames. First pitch from Getz to Locker. It's an off-speed pitch that misses inside for ball 1.
Yeah, we Maybe we should just come up with a nickname for Post 17. We know Post 8 is the 8s. I mean, we'll use that moniker throughout the year, but
the 17s,
the 17s, the 17s.
Okay, counts low, or the 1-0 pitch was low and is now 2-0. I guess that's true. Maybe we can call them the Waters. I don't. Here's the 2-0 pitch. That one's at the letters. Is now 2-1. I mean, that's a bad joke by me, but
well, made me laugh.
Well, I don't know if that says too much. Here's a 2-1 pitch from Getz to Locker. That one's over and is now 2-2. As Locker unable to pull the trigger.
I think most people who know me say I'm generally easily amused. So
I guess that I'm the same way though.
Yeah.
I can find entertainment just about anything. Locker's 5 for 11 in the 4 games so far, 2 days that they've played so far this week. 2-2 pitch. That one's fouled back, and we'll do it again at 2-2.
Get's going to be a little more reliant on his fastball, and then we'll set up that big curveball of his. It's almost kind of a 12-6 curveball. The bottom really drops out of it when he gets ahead. He likes to throw that when he gets ahead in the count. So we'll see what he does here at 2-2.
And that one will bounce in front or right at the plate and get to the backstop. So the count's now full at 3-2. The leadoff hitter here in the top of the second in Braxton Locker. It'll be Cale Stevenson and Braden Zog, the first 3 hitters here for Watertown in the top of the second. No score, no base runners as of yet. 3-2 pitch. There's a line shot. That's way out towards left field. Going back to Merquine. It's going to one hop off the wall as it'll be a leadoff double for Braden Locker. Or Braxton Locker, excuse me. And Watertown has their first base runner. First hit of the ball game.
And no action, no courtesy runner for the catcher Locker. So gives you an indication that he's got at least decent passable speed to allow him to continue to man the base paths for the 17s. See, I'm just going to call them the 17s today.
Here's Cale Stevenson. First pitch will bounce in. Good stop there by Hinkle. And it's 1-0 to Stevenson. Stevenson doesn't hit a whole lot. Trying to find what his stats are in those 4 games. Not sure if he went 1 for 4 yesterday against Yankton, as he'll foul that one back, and it's now 1-1. I believe maybe Stevenson might have he went 1 for 3 and then 1 for 2 in the last 2 days against Yankton and also against Renner 2. Here's a 1-1 pitch. It's now 2-1. I guess Renner 2, not Renner also. Be grammatically correct, it's actually Renner 2 in all quotes.
The deuces?
Maybe that could be. Yeah, that might work. Here's a 2-1 pitch. Outside, and it's now 3-1. So Brady gets it a 1-2-3 inning with 2 ground ball outs. Leadoff double, and now Stevenson has a good hitter's count to try and get the first run driven in. Help himself out on the mound. From the stretch, here's a 3-1 from Getz to Stevenson. Line over, and Coach Ryan Neal barely got out of the way of that one. Oh, boy, and it's now 3-2. There was no chance he was going to make a play on it. The only chance he had was to get away from it.
Yeah, Ryan Neal, the head coach for Watertown, the brother, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, but brother of the former manager of the Pierre Trappers, Tanner Neal.
And Tanner was part of the North Dakota State baseball team on the coaching staff over there that won the Summit League as the 3-2 is missed, and it's going to be a walk to make it first and second with nobody out. It'll be Braden Zog now, the right fielder. Yeah, he is I believe it was a volunteer assistant with NDSU, which won the Summit League and got to go out. I believe it was all the way to Stanford. That's where their regional is at. So we get to experience what the NCAA tournament's all about. Trying to bunt with Zog. He missed the bunt, and it's 0-1. He might be the hottest hitter. Zog, he's batting 800 in the last 4 games. 4 RBIs, 8 for 10.
Yeah, it's an interesting coaching strategy to bunt a guy who's probably swinging the hottest stick on the team right now.
Here's the 0-1 pitch. Trying to bunt again, pulls it back, and it's just taken outside, and it's now 1-1. I think he'll held it there, thinking he got it framed on the just outside edge, but it's now a 1-1 count. I thought maybe, Zog was thinking to bunt himself on base because you have a hot hitter, so you don't expect him to bunt. Try and bunt again, pulls it back, and I think the umpires say you went around on the swing, or he offered at it, because he pointed towards the dugout like it would have been a strike, but I don't know if it was. We'll see if the bunt's still on here. Here's a pitch Zog was taking. That one's missed. Yeah, it was a strike earlier, so the count's now 2-2.
Yeah, Watertown is never out of a ball game. They have had multiple comeback wins in their last at bats over the last couple of weeks, and so.
As that one's grounded over towards the third baseman, Gordon, he'll step on the bag at third for 1. That's all they're going to get, so it'll be a fielder's choice, and he keeps the double play intact with 1 down, as it'll be Jared Cyrus now to come to the plate.
Yeah, just a one-hop ground ball right at Andy Gordon, and Gordon playing off the line, and as Locker made about 3 steps towards third base, he just kind of stopped, forced Gordon to make a decision, and the decision was go over, tag the bag, get the lead runner, and then see if you can keep that double play in order.
Cyrus will pop the first pitch foul out of play, and I'm glad. Andy's favorite team is the Pittsburgh Pirates, unfortunately, but I'm glad he was smarter than what the Pittsburgh Pirates players are. He didn't go chase him down and then try and throw it away somewhere, and everybody got to advance 2 bases. He went to the bag, stepped to the bag, and retired the first man. As here's the 0-1 pitch from gets to Cyrus. Runner will take off as it bounced in the dirt, so both runners will advance to second and third. They were off with the pitch, so there is no more double play on a ground ball, but it should be. We'll see if the infield comes in with second and third. Both guys will get stolen bases.
Yeah, Stevenson he had a big primary lead over at second base and was really trying to get Brady Getz rattled, and he got a really good jump going to third. Really didn't even have a play out of that.
And that one is out towards left field, and that one is deep. That one will get out for a 3-run homer for Jared Cyrus, who continues to hit extra base hits. 4 doubles in the last 4 games. He's got a 3-run homer here. Now 9 RBIs in his last 5 games. A 3-0 lead for Watertown here at the top of the second with 1 down.
Yeah, and that was a ball that got up, and on a 95-degree day, it's going to fly pretty well. There's not a lot of wind today, and so the wind really wasn't much of a factor. But as soon as that ball got up, you could just tell it was likely going to get out of here, and went right over the top of the Big Tom's Diner sign out in straightaway left field.
So here is Cade Russell, the number 8 hitter, with now nobody on base. First pitch is missed upstairs for ball 1. Russell, the first baseman, will be back then to Jack Heish and back to Zach Hirsch. 3-0 lead, second hit of the ball game from Watertown. There's a line shot out to left field. That one's going back, and Merkwan will watch that go over his head, 1 hop off the wall. Could be another extra base hit, their 3rd extra base hit here in the inning. And Watertown continues to hit the ball well against Brady Getz here in the top of the second, as there's another runner in scoring position with 1 down.
And second inning continues to be an Achilles heel for Brady Getz, as he just is running into some struggles here in the second start of the Legion season.
So now here's Jack Heish, the shortstop, with a runner on second and 1 down. First pitch off speed, that's over for strike 1. Was a first inning that looked good for Brady Getz. And really, it's not that his outing is going to be bad by any stretch, but at a 1-2-3 first inning, as he'll try and pick off at second. Went off the glove of Wiebe, no tag applied anyway. So an 0-1 count still to Jack Heish. But at first, 3 men retired in order And the double walk, fielder's choice, and that 3-run homer. Been the difference maker in this ball game. Still another runner on second. There's a swing and a miss by Russell, who was well out in front of that pitch. And the count's now 0-2.
Yeah, nice off-speed pitch by Getz, and for Brady to be effective, that off-speed pitch has got to be breaking and got to keep those hitters off balance.
As he'll keep Heesh off balance on that pitch with a swing and a miss, and there's now 2 down. As they'll go back to Zach Hirsch, the top of the order, as Getz picked up his second strikeout of the ball game. Here's the first pitch from Getz to Zach Hirsch. He'll foul that one back off the chain link fence, and it's 0-1.
And this is, a little bit of a test for Brady Getz after struggling in that last outing. We'll see how he responds to going down 3-0 right now. That strikeout was a nice step forward for him.
0-1 pitch is in the dirt. Good block by Cade Hinkle, and it counts even at a ball and a strike. And that block keeps Russell over at second base.
If he can get out of this inning with just that 3-run homer on the board and not allow any more damage with this runner on second and 2 outs, that could be a moral victory for Brady Getz.
1-1 pitch. That one's on the inside corner and is now 1-2. Hirsch was the strikeout victim in his first at-bat. That led off the ball game here just about half an hour ago. Here's the 1-2 pitch upstairs, and it's now 2-2.
Changeup that just missed the zone up, and so that could be a setup pitch to come back with that off-speed pitch that'll break down and away from the right-handed hitter.
Here's a 2-2. The fastball that was fouled back by Hirsch, and we'll do it again here at 2-2. 3-0 is their score. A 3-run homer by Jared Cyrus has got Watertown on the board and in the lead after both teams went down in order in the first inning. Getz can limit the damage by trying to get Hirsch here after the double after the home run. Here's the 2-2. Comes in, hits Hirsch, and is now first and second to bring up Andrew Check.
The 11th hit batter for the Pierre pitching staff in just in six games. So again, walks have been an issue for this pitching staff, but right now they're on pace for giving up almost 2 hit batters a game. And again, that's just like a walk. Anytime you give up a hit batter, just like a walk, just another free pass to the opposition.
First pitch to Andrew Check, misses low for ball 1. That's been a struggle and kind of a surprising struggle for Poe State, as that one is fouled off the mitts of Hinkle, and the count's now even at a ball and a strike. Because these pitchers are still good pitchers, and that's not what I want to get at is, but because they're good pitchers, you just don't see them struggling like they have been to limit the walks. But that's been the case through the first 6 games of the season into the 7th game of the year for Poe State, as that one's outside and it's now 2-1. And usually, guys have bad outings every once in a while. That's the game of baseball. But a lot of times you see teams go into a little bit of a slump as a team hitting-wise, not more pitching-wise, as that one misses and is now 3-1. So to see them struggle, not necessarily at the plate but on the mound, is just a little bit more odd to see. As the 3-1 from Getz now to Check. That one comes inside, and it's another walk, and the bases are now loaded here with 2 away.
And, where he's headed right now, Getz is kind of digging himself into a little bit of a hole, and I know Coach Brian White was really hoping to see him go deep into this game, but Getz already at 52 pitches, and he's not even out of the second inning right now.
So the bases are loaded here for Dawson Schmidt. Here's the first pitch, outside for ball 1. Schmidt grounded out to the third baseman Gordon to end the top of the first. He's the 9th man to come to the plate. 5 runs driven in, including a home run so far this week. Both Monday and Tuesday they played doubleheaders. That pitch is outside and is now 2-0. Braxton Locker, the catcher who led off the inning with a double, he is on deck right now. Here's the 2-0 pitch. That is also outside, and the count's now 3-0.
Yeah, just 15 pitches in the first inning for Brady Getz. As he throws this next pitch, it'll be his 41st of the second inning.
Here's the 3-0 pitch. The 4-pitch walk, and it's a 4-0 lead now for Watertown. And that'll go back to now Braxton Locker.
Yeah, and that'll bring out a mound visit from Coach Brian White. And again, this is probably just a kind of what I would call a settle down visit, just coming out to kind of try to talk him through and give him a little boost of confidence and see if he can find his way to get this third out of the inning. After the 3-run homer, got the strikeout right away, and you were kind of hoping that Brady was going to be able to rebound after that homer, but it's been double hit batter and walk since then.
And well, it's just this has been the again. It's only the 7th game of the year, and you're going to play a total of around 50 by the time the season's over with. So there's still plenty of time left to go in the 2021 season, but this has just been kind of how the season has gone. Another time that the lineup will roll over in the same inning for the post-state opponent. It just seems in the 4 losses they've had so far, that's been the case at least once. That they've seen the lineup go through a 10th guy as the first pitch to Braxton Locker is taken for strike 1. As he doubled the lead off here in the top of the second. Here's the 0-1 pitch. That one's also taken for a strike, and it's quickly 0-2 here to Locker.
Yeah, and when you give up that big inning, I mean, you just it just gets tough to come back offensively from where you were. Just you cruise through the first inning, things are looking up, and then just the air goes out of the balloon after you give up hopefully just a 4 spot, even though the bases are loaded for Watertown here with 2 outs here in the top of the second.
The 0-2 pitch miss, and it's now 1-2, and the 1-2 pitch from Getz. Schmidt will ground it to the right side. It'll be fielded by Wiebe over at second base. A throw to first will retire Schmidt, and that will end here in the top of the second inning. But 4 runs come in to score on 4 hits in the inning. Excuse me, 3 hits in the inning. No errors, and 3 men left on base. We head to the bottom of the second. It is a 4-0 lead for Watertown over Post State. You're listening to Post State Baseball on today's KCCR and today's KCCR.com.
As long as you have a local cooperative, you'll never farm alone. At CHS Midwest Cooperative, our team is your team, ready to help you make the decisions that are vital to your operation. From the seed, plant health, and marketing the grain, to fuel to keep you running, the feed to supplement your herds, and the financing programs to make it all possible. We're here for you. Give CHS Midwest Cooperative a call today and let us show you the value of the co-op. Local, loyal, and trusted for generations.
Service Master of Pierre. It's no secret we clean carpets professionally, but not many people know we clean furniture, kitchens, bathrooms, walls, floors, and windows. We also do fire and water restoration, plus construction cleanups. There's nothing we can't clean. Give Service Master a call at 224-9919. Service Master. The clean you expect, the service you deserve. Service Master, 224-9919.
As we welcome you back here, bottom of the second inning, 4, 5, and 6 for Post States. Bennett Dean, Spencer Lettler, and Jack Merkwan by reaches base. It'll be Matt Hansen, a 4-0 lead for Watertown, thanks to the 3-run homer by Jared Cyrus in the top of the second. As Post State will again try and work from behind. As that again seems to be another trend that we've seen in the first 7 games, is Post State having to try and work from behind. And really in the 2 wins, they jump out to an early lead. They've not had a 4-0 deficit, 6-0 deficit. We've seen this quite a few times so far this season.
Yeah, and that's unfortunate. And again, when you're having to play from behind continually, it just begins to wear on you. And Like I said, when you go up against a team like Watertown that is on a little bit of a hot streak, and the fact that like we alluded to earlier, this is a team that has a number of come from behind wins, so you got to feel that they're never out of a game. I mean, they put up some big numbers in their final at bats a couple of different times, and so they just come into this game likely on a roll and brimming with confidence.
0-1 pitch to Bennett. Dean's upstairs, is now 1-1. Dean coming in and hitting .267 so far in the season. 4 runs driven in. Batting in the cleanup spot here in game number 1. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Dean will pop it up behind home plate, and Locker didn't find it quick enough, and it'll land foul. Would have been a tough play if he located it right away, but it's still a 1-2 count now here to Bennett Dean.
Yeah, just a foul that went straight back, and you're right. Locker did not even react when that ball went up. I don't know if he thought that the ball was going to get out of play immediately, and then somebody yelled and said, "No, you got a chance," and was just late on the play.
Here's a 1-2 pitch from Stevenson. That one's upstairs, a little outside, and it's now 2-2.
And the other thing that's been kind of a little bit of a mystery is the lack of power that this post-8 team has had. Just 7 extra base hits through 6 games so far for the 8s.
2-2 pitch. That one's lined to left center field, down for a base hit. Bennett Dean will round first, and he's the first post-8 base runner, first hit of the ball game for the 8s, as it'll bring up Spencer Lettler.
Just a line drive that right over the top of the head of the shortstop Heesh, and the 8s have their first base runner, and we'll see if they can maybe start a little bit of a rally here, try to chip away and get some of those, chip into that 4-0 Watertown lead right now here in the bottom of the second.
Here's Spencer Lettler. First pitch from Stevenson is upstairs for ball 1. It is Zach Hirsch out in left field, Dawson Schmidt in center, Braden Zog in right, Jared Cyrus at third, Heesh is at short, Check at second. Russell is at first, Locker behind the plate. Stevenson delivers a 1-0 pitch that's well upstairs, and it's now 2-0.
And I think one of the secrets that post-8's got to do is exactly what Watertown did in that second inning. That's grind some at bats, because, like you said, John, Watertown has six pitchers that are unavailable today. So you got to figure that playing their third doubleheader in 3 days, they're working on the back end of their bullpen, even though they send Stevenson, who's likely their ace, to the mound here in game number 1.
2-0 pitch was at the letter, so it's now 2-1 here to Lettler. Stevenson from the stretch. Here is a 2-1 pitch, and Lettler will foul it away. And the count's now even at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Yeah, so if you can drive that pitch count up and get into that Watertown bullpen, that should spell success for the 8s as we get into this game. But you really gotta go deep into some counts and make Stevenson work in order to get there.
Here's a 2-2 pitch. That's upstairs, and the count's now full at 3-2. Nobody out here in the bottom of the second. We'll see if Bennett Dean will get the steal number sign. With a full count, when there is nobody out, Jack Merquan is on deck. Here's the 3-2 pitch from Stevenson. Dean not running. Lettler grounds it left side. That's through for a base hit. Dean will take the round at second, and is now first and second here with nobody out. Good piece of hitting there from Lettler going the other way.
Yeah, just a hard ground ball through the left side, and Heesh, the Watertown shortstop, kind of leaning towards second base, kind of expecting just exactly what you called, John, that maybe Dean would have been off with the pitch to try to stay out of the double play, and so Heesh actually kind of broke towards second base and in anticipation of a play, and actually took him out of position of possibly being able to make a play on that ground ball.
The first pitch to Jack Merquan is taken for strike 1. Merquan coming in. He's hitting 125 so far, but a big spot right here. Big base hit could put Post 8 on the board. Here's the 0-1 pitch. That one's taken on the inside edge, and Merquan's now down 0-2 in the count. Merquan still looking for that first RBI. I don't think he was agreeing with the strike call, but now down 0-2, so he's going to battle up Stevenson from the stretch. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Merquan will chop it up the middle. It'll be fielded by the second baseman. He puts the tag down because he didn't field it cleanly, check the first time, but he was able to still tag Spencer Lettler out at second, and the runners are now in the corners at first and third with one away on the fielder's choice for Merquan.
Yeah, high chopper that went right over the top of the pitcher's mound and check right at second base when he fielded the ball. Actually kind of short hopped the ball and wasn't able to come up with it cleanly, fortunately for the Eights, and with that really didn't have a chance to execute the double play, and so the Eights got runners on the corners and one out here in the bottom of the second.
Here's Matt Hansen. First pitch to him is upstairs for ball one. Hansen looking for an RBI, a base hit, or even a fielder's choice could get the job done with the infield plane back. Trying to turn a double play. Here's the 1-0 pitch. That one's on the outside of corner. It's now 1-1.
Yeah, need to string a couple of hits together, keep this inning going. I mean, like I said, you've got a little bit of a threat going here. You don't want to give up with just play. You'd like to plate certainly more than one run with runners at the corners.
Here's the 1-1 pitch to Hansen. He'll chop that one up off the plate. It'll be fielded by the third baseman. He'll get the run in. The throw to first is in time. So Hansen will get the RBI. And the runner now at second base with two away. And Post 8 is on the scoreboard.
Yeah, just I don't know if it came off the plate or the ground right in front of home plate, but we've seen two high choppers in back-to-back at bats. And nice play by Cyrus over at third base. He came in, fielded the ball before it hit the ground on the second hop, and actually his momentum actually carried him all the way to and past the pitcher's mound when he made that throw to retire Hansen.
Here's Gary Nedvent. First pitch is upstairs for ball one. Runner in scoring position here with two away in the bottom of the second. Post 8 trails 4-1. The 1-0 pitch to the DH. Instead, Stevenson will turn himself around, nearly got caught on the back of the rubber, which was a little bit close to drawing a balk, which would have moved Merquan over 90 feet to third base. Here's the 1-0 pitch. That one's taken for a strike on the inside part of the plate, and it's now 1-1.
Yeah, that's a big at bat for Gary Nedved. If he can come up with a base hit right here, Merquan will be off on contact, and with his speed, likely scores on any kind of a base hit.
1-1 pitch from Stevenson to Nedved. Swings and misses, and it's now 1-2. Merquan started to get a little bit too far off of second, but does not draw a throw from Locker. And he's back in safely at second base, and the count's now 1-2.
Yeah, based on where Merquan put the brakes on, he was almost exactly halfway between second and third before he retreated back to second base, and one of those situations where Locker made the right decision, just ran at him, forced Merquan to go back.
Here's the 1-2 pitch. That one is taken for strike three, and that will retire the side here in the bottom of the second. One run scores on two hits in the inning, no errors, and one man left on base. We have played two complete, and Post 8 trails Watertown 4-1. Back in a minute, you listen to Post 8 Baseball on today's KCCR and today's KCCR.com.
At Shane's Pharmacy, your health care is important, and Shane wants to be the pharmacist to take care of you. Shane's Pharmacy will make sure your prescriptions are filled in a timely manner, they will answer your questions, and they will even deliver to your home or office. Call 223-9200. Shane's Pharmacy, the pharmacy you know and trust. The number again is 223-9200. Shane's Pharmacy in Fort Pierre, proud to support high school athletics.
CommTech in Pierre invites you to come out and check out their expansive showroom. It's filled with everything you need to thrive in today's technology-dependent world and a knowledgeable staff to guide you through. CommTech has TVs, computers, personal electronics to commercial electronics, anything to fit your technology needs. The experienced professionals at CommTech can guide you through any questions you may have. Whether you struggle with technology or live for it, CommTech can help you find exactly what you're looking for. CommTech will even install and service what they sell, so you don't have to worry once you get your products home. CommTech, located at 1601 North Lowell Avenue behind Walmart. Check them out online at CommTechPlus.com.
As we welcome you back here at Hyde Stadium, top of the third inning, it is going to be Cale Stevenson, Braden Zog, and Jared Cyrus to lead things off, as it'll be 5, 6, and 7 for Watertown, who has a 4-1 lead heading into the top of the third inning thanks to that 3-run homer by Jared Cyrus. And then the RBI walk from Dawson Schmidt has got them that 4-1 lead on just 3 hits so far. Stevenson, he walked and came around to score on that 3-run homer in his first at-bat, or first plate appearance. No official at-bat yet for Stevenson, as we are underway here in the top of the third with the first pitch over for strike one. We got started a little bit late. Actually, didn't get started too late. It was 5:08 when we got started with first pitch, but Watertown was a little bit late getting here. As there's a line shot, that's down the third base line. That's fair all the way into the corner. Extra bases to kick off the top of the third inning as Merquan will pick it up in the corner near the foul line, and it's a leadoff double for Cale Stevenson. And Watertown's picking up right where they left off. All 4 of their hits now have been extra bases with 3 doubles and a home run.
Yeah, just a line drive ringing right down the third base line and rattles around in the corner right under the 324 sign. And Stevenson in with a stand-up double, and the 17s have something going here to start off the third. I like that name.
You're gonna live with that all day.
If they don't have a nickname, they're just gonna be the 17s today.
As Zog will take ball one. He reached on a fielder's choice last inning. Here's the 1-0 pitch. That one's over and is now 1-1. Now Watertown, so far they've played 21 South Dakota Legion games heading into this doubleheader. But again, without having the high school season, as that one is taken for a strike. That one crossed at the knees and is now 1-2. But not having the high school season allowed them to play quite a few games, and them, Aberdeen, and then Post 22 and Post 320 have played the majority of those 21 games against Watertown, as that one is now 2-2, other than the last couple weeks when all these Legion teams have now started. But Post 8 has basically played over just around 30 games because of the high school season. 2-2 pitch upstairs, and is now 3-2.
Yeah, and again, the records are a bit deceiving. I mean, Post 8 comes in 2-4 on the Legion season, but like you said, I mean, collectively for most of this Pierre lineup, this is game number 33 on the year, 26 in the spring season, seventh game of the Legion season so far, game 29 of the season for Watertown.
There's going to be a walk issued to Zog, and is now first and second here with nobody away. Here's Jared Cyrus, the third baseman, who is coming back after hitting that 3-run homer in his last at-bat, or his first at-bat of the ball game. 4-1 is their score here in the top of the third. Nobody out. First pitch. That one's outside for ball one. Don't want to be too careful with Cyrus because you already got first and second. And again, with nobody away, you're asking for a lot of danger if you put him on base. But he's already shown he's a threat to go with the long ball. Here's a 1-0 pitch. That one's fouled back. And it's 1-1. Cyrus had 4 doubles out of his 6 hits that he's had going into this game. 4 doubles out of the 6 from Monday and Tuesday. He had 6 runs driven in over those 4 games. And now he's started up with 3 runs driven in now. Here's the 1-1 pitch. That one's a curveball that misses inside, nearly got Cyrus, and it's now 2-1.
Watertown, two last at-bat victories on Monday versus the Renner Deuces.
There's a base hit to the right side just past Jaden Wiebe, who was diving for the throw coming towards the plate, cut off by Dean. The throw to the plate is not in time, and it's an RBI single for Cyrus, as he's gotten 4 of the 5 runs driven in. He's 2 for 2. And it's now a 5-1 lead for Watertown.
Yeah, base hit through the right side, going the other way this time after the 3-run homer to left field. This time going through the right side, just a hard ground ball just out of the reach of a diving Jaden Wiebe at second base. And Isaac Pollock came in from his right field position, came up throwing. Made a nice strong throw into the infield, and the relay throw just a half a second late, and Watertown moves this lead, got the run back that they gave up in the bottom of the second, and moved the lead back to 4, now up 5-1.
As the first pitch misses low for ball one. The runner, Zog, went from first to third on the base hit when the throw came towards the plate. So the runners are at the corners here with nobody away in the top of the third inning. Russell doubled his first at-bat. Here's the 1-0 pitch. That one will get away from Hinkle. The run started to come home, but he will go back to third as he realized how not far away from Hinkle it got. But the runner on first base and Cyrus moved up 90 feet. So now no double play opportunity, and they'll draw the infield in all the way around, trying to keep this a 4-run deficit. Here's the 2-0 pitch to Russell. That one's right down the middle, and it's now 2-1.
We got a little activity starting to stir in the post-8 bullpen. Looks like Gary Nedved will go out and start to warm for the black and green.
Here's now the 2-1 pitch from gets to Russell. There's a swing and a miss, and it's now 2-2. You'll see Nedved, Breck, and Kruger is back up with the Senior Legion team. I believe will probably be with this 8's team tomorrow and Saturday as well. But we might see him pitch at some point in this doubleheader. Here's the now 2-2 pitch. There's a line shot in the left center field. That's going to get down for a base hit. Another run, 2 runs will come in to score on the 2 RBI single from Cade Russell. And it's a 7-1 lead now here for Watertown.
Yeah, just a nice piece of hitting by Russell. Just a ball that fastball that he took into the left center gap, and Spencer Lettler comes over and is able to field the ball and get it back in cleanly, but not before both runners that were in scoring position for Watertown are able to come across the plate, and the lead is now expanded for the purple and gray, now up to 7-1 here in the top of the third.
As they'll draw a mound visit from Coach Brian White to talk with Brady Getz and maybe buy a little bit of time for Gary Nedved to continue to loosen up in the bullpen. But a 7-1 lead now. 4 runs in the second. Another 3 have already scored here in the third with nobody out. As Jack Heesh will come to the plate, the shortstop who is 0 for 1 with a strikeout. He's the number 9 hitter. Go back to the top of the order. With a runner on first base, nobody away here at the top of the third. Guess we'll come set from the stretch. Here's the first pitch. That one just misses a little bit low, and it's 1-0.
Yeah, and Heesh slid the hand up the bat. Kind of gave the indication that maybe he may try to move the runner over with a bunt right here.
Here's the 1-0 pitch. He is going to show a bunt, pulls it back, and is now 2-0.
We'll see if Watertown continues to look at the opportunity. Heesh, the number 9 batter in the order, kind of what you would expect out of the bottom of the order. Just try to put something in play and move the runner.
That one's popped up, and Cade Hinkle couldn't get rid of the pass, but he makes the catch in foul territory. There's a big first out for Post 8.
Post 8 caught a break right there. He's trying to move the runner, and unfortunately for Watertown, just popped it up, and nice job by Hinkle to locate the ball and track it down in foul territory, and so now with 1 out, runner on first, the Eights are just a ground ball away from getting out of this inning.
Here's the first pitch. That one will miss low to Zach Hirsch, who is 0 for 1. He struck out swinging and was also hit by a pitch. Getz had him down the count. End up losing him by having a hit by pitch. Here's the 1-0 pitch now. That one will bounce. It'll get to the backstop, and to second base will be Russell. And started to make his way over to third base. But the count is now at 2-0. Here to Zach Hirsch. As another runner is in scoring position, a base hit can put Watertown up by 7 here in the top of the third inning.
Yeah, and again, the pitching numbers are just not where you would hope they would be for Post 8.
That one is taken for a strike at the letters and is now 2-1. You're listening to KCCR Pierre, a Riverfront broadcasting station. Just past 6 o'clock. Here on a warm Wednesday evening at Hyde Stadium. Here's the 2-1 pitch. There's a line shot. That's going to drop in front of Merquan for a base hit. Run will not come in to score. The throw comes to the third baseman, Gordon. So his runners at the corners here with one down to bring up Andrew Check.
And you just kind of tell the difference in body language between the two teams. You can just tell that Watertown, has the momentum. They just feel very good about the baseball they're playing right now, and Post 8 just is not able to match that right now. And again, we talked a little bit about alluded a little bit to the numbers. I mean, coming into the day as a staff, Post 8 pitchers have a 7.53 ERA collectively. That's more than double what it was during the spring season, and you would expect the ERAs to go up as you get into the warmer weather and the use of metal bats, but you certainly don't expect those numbers to double.
First pitch was missed for ball one. That one is over, and it's now 1-1 here to the number 2 hitter, Andrew Check. A 7-1 lead here in the top of the third. Runners at the corners. Russell on at third, Hirsch at first. Here's the 1-1 pitch. That one is over and is now 1-2. Check is 0 for 1. He grounded back to the pitcher in the top of the first, and then drew a walk and was stranded on second. This is already the 7th man to come to the plate here in the top of the third inning after having 10 guys come to the plate in the top of the second. 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Runner takes off for a second. Will get to second base, but there's now 2 down. But a base hit could extend this lead even further, as Dawson Schmidt will be the man to come to the plate. He had an RBI walk back in the top of the second inning. That made it a 4-1 lead at the time for Watertown. They've increased it up to 7-1.
With 2 outs and runners on second and third, a base hit here probably drives it to 9-1.
First pitch is upstairs for ball 1 to Schmidt. Ground out to Gordon back at the top of the first. And then was walked with the bases loaded in the top of the second. Here's the 1-0 pitch from Getz, as that one is fouled back. And the count is now 1-1. Getz running out of pitches here. He's gotten over 90 pitches thrown here in 2 2/3 innings. Here's a 1-1 pitch. Swing and a miss is now 1-2.
This is likely his last inning as he tops the 90 pitch mark. Nedved looks like he's back in the dugout, so you got to assume that he's warmed up and ready to go. And so if Brady gets able to get out of this is likely his last time on the hill. We'll see him today.
Jaden Wiebe will make the play over at second on a ground ball to him, and that will retire the side here in the top of the third. Another 3 runs come in to score, and 3 hits in the inning. There were 4 hits in the inning, no errors, and 2 men left on base. So we head to the bottom of the third inning. It is a 7-1 lead for Watertown over Post 8. Back in a minute. You're listening to Post 8 Baseball on today's KCCR and today's KCCR.com.
South Dakota didn't always have a capital, or even a permanent settlement for that matter. There wasn't always a river city on the Missouri River. And before First Dakota filed the first charter in 1872, there wasn't always a bank in South Dakota. Every timeless institution, tradition, and thriving business was started somewhere by someone who had a dream and the passion to make it happen first. What will be your South Dakota first? Visit firstdakota.com/first. Member FDIC.
Do you need the Pierre Governor apparel for the big game? Or how about Stanley County apparel or Post 8 apparel? All-Around Graphics in Pierre is your place to go. Not only can you get your apparel, but they also do screen printing, jerseys, awards, and trophies. And did you know they can print and customize your signs? All-Around Graphics can do it all. Located at 819 North Euclid Avenue or call 224-4677. All-Around Graphics in Pierre, your one-stop shop.
As we welcome you back here at Hyde Stadium, it is the bottom of the third inning. Isaac Pollock, Cade Hinkle, and Jaden Wiebe, 9-1-2. We just got through a concert here in the press box from Greg Dean But we won't make you. I won't make you sing due to the copyright issues. Although the singing that you had probably won't be copyrighted anyway.
I'm pretty sure it wasn't.
So, but yeah, we had a joyful little bit of concert there from Greg Dean,
and drew several horrified looks from down the line,
mostly from the research department, KCCR research department,
who is shaking his head right now.
First pitch to Isaac Pollock. He'll grounded foul over to the third base coach Brian White. Make the play. Didn't make the throw back though. Counts 0-1.
Pollock, the likely starter in game number 2 for the Eights today, has one of the 2 post-state victories on the year.
Here's the 0-1 pitch from Stevenson to Pollock. Swings and misses, and it's now 0-2.
Stevenson really effective with that off-speed pitch and just able to live down in the zone, and the Eights have had a number of swings and misses so far in this game. All have been over the top of that off-speed pitch that just dives at the plate.
0-2 pitch is missed low and outside, and the count's now 1-2 here to Pollock. Going back to the top of the order, just for the first time rolling the order through. While we are into the third time through the order for Watertown, as the 1-2 pitch is taken for a strike, and there's one down here to open up the bottom of the third inning. It is the 4th strikeout of the ball game from Cale Stevenson. And here's now Cade Hinkle, who flew out to the right fielder in his first at-bat. In the leadoff spot, no Lincoln Keenels. The precautionary with the sore arm, so not playing here in this doubleheader as the first pitch is missed for ball 1.
Yeah, and that's unfortunate. And again, there are several of the post-8, several guys in the post-8 lineup dealing with variety of ailments.
As that one's grounded just over the top of the first base bag and fielded by the first baseman and Russell, and there's now 2 quickly down here in the bottom of the third.
Yeah, and it's just a situation that you have to deal with, especially with as many games in as short a period as you play in the Legion season. I mean, during the high school season, where at least in Pierre's case, they typically tend to play the bulk of their games on weekends. You get those 3-4 days rest between most games.
Here's a ground ball to the left side, fielded by Cyrus over at third. He throws a strike to first, and it's a 1-2-3 inning for Cale Stevenson here in the bottom of the third. We head to the top of the 4th inning, a 7-1 lead for Watertown over Pierre. Back in a minute, listen to Post-8 Baseball on today's KCCR and today's KCCR.com.
Agtegra in Highmore. We pride ourselves on providing our customers with reliable markets, superior services, and quality products. From corn and soybeans to spring and winter wheat, you can trust Agtegra in Highmore with all your grain handling needs. It's all about helping you achieve the best harvest possible. Call Agtegra of Highmore today at 605-846-1379. That's 605-846-1379.
Are you building a new home or remodeling the old? Adding a fireplace can make a house a home. Olson Plumbing in Pierre carries a full line of Heat-A-Later fireplaces. Whether your taste is traditional or contemporary, Olson Plumbing has a great selection of Heat-A-Later fireplaces that will fit any style. Whether you're building new or updating, call Olson Plumbing. Heat-A-Later Fireplaces, the first name in fireplaces. Olson Plumbing in Pierre is your source for the industry's largest selection of indoor-outdoor fireplaces, either gas or wood, and outdoor fire pits. Stop by their showroom at 2803 East Wells or give them a call, 224-6436.
Gary Nedved will take the mound here for Post State as he will replace Brady Getz as he enters the game from the DH spot, so no change in the lineup. Nedved will now be on the pitch for Post State, trying to keep this a 6-run deficit right now that they play here in the top of the 4th, and he'll deal with the middle of the order, 4, 5, and 6. Braxton Locker, Cale Stevenson, and Braden Zog will be the first 3 hitters for Watertown in this top of the 4th inning. 4 runs in the second, 3 in the third for Watertown. And the biggest hit so far has been the 3-run homer from Jared Cyrus. He's actually got 4 of the 7 RBIs. as he will be the man to come to the plate if anybody reaches base here in the top of the fourth. So here's Braxton Locker. He is 1 for 2. He doubled and grounded out. That all came in the top of the second. He was the one man that got to hit twice for Watertown. Here's the first pitch. There's an over for strike one. Got our first final of the day. Looks like, if I read that right, here Harrisburg beat Aberdeen 23-11.
Wow.
I'm sure, I don't know if it's Harrisburg Tigers football team beating the Aberdeen Central Golden Eagles or if that's a baseball score, as it counts now a ball and a strike. But 23-11 is the final score between Harrisburg and Aberdeen in that first game of the doubleheader. 1-1 pitch. That one's over, and it's now 1-2. That one came on the inside edge to Locker. First chance to see Gary Nedved on the mound. And he's, I think for him, it's kind of a little bit of an audition to see if he'll pitch quite a bit here this summer. 1-2 pitch. There's a ground ball on the left side. It'll be fielded by Hanson over at short. They'll throw to first, and the leadoff man is retired to open up the top of the fourth inning.
Yeah, I think you'd have to go back fairly deep into the record books to see the last time Gary Nedved pitched. My recollection from 2 years ago was the last time that I had seen Gary on the Junior Legion staff, and I don't remember him pitching much, if any at all, that year. So good opportunity for Nedved, like you said, good term to audition, and I think it's kind of like what Coach White said. I mean, if you're on the roster at some point during the year, you're probably going to get called on to take the hill.
The 1-0 pitch is upstairs, and it's now 2-0. And that's one of the bigger things, too, is that this roster is a little bit smaller, and especially when you have a couple injuries on top of it, as that one misses upstairs, and the count's now 3-0. That the smaller roster, you don't have the luxury of having a whole lot of guys being able to throw because everybody's got to throw. You can't just sit on 6 or 7 guys and throw. Pretty much all 11 of the players that are active today have to throw, as the 3-0 is over for strike one. It's now 3-1. Of course, Aaron Booth actually is not DHing yet in in game number 2, but is closing in on being able to hit at least for Post State, as the 3-1 is upstairs, and that's going to be a 1-out walk to Stevenson. He's on base for the third time, and then to bring up Braden Zog, who is 0 for 1 but have been on base both times he's come to the plate.
Yeah, and that'll be a nice addition back to get Aaron Booth back in at least even in some limited capacity, even if you can get his bat in the lineup and then potentially in as a defender. It'll be interesting to see if he does rehab enough where at some point maybe in a couple of weeks if he's able to come back and even take the mound in a limited basis. But I think right now just being able to get him back in some kind of limited format is going to be a nice boost for this club.
The 0-1 pitch to Braden Zog misses low, and it's now 1-1 to Zog. Again, 0 for 1 so far, grounded to a fielder's choice. Also walked, and it's 2 trips to the plate. Here's the 1-1 pitch. That one's popped up. Foul territory. Bennett Dean will give a chase, and it'll land on the steps. And not close enough for Dean to lean over to try and make that play, as it counts now 1-2. Went over about another 2 feet. It would have landed on top of the dugout itself. So counts now 1-2.
You won't miss Zog out in the field wearing the bright yellow cleats that he has on.
1-2 pitch is lined in the left field. The runner on the move, and he'll round second and head for third. And it'll be a base hit for Zog. And the runners are at the corners with 1 down, as he's got his first hit of the ball game and also been on base all 3 times. And that'll bring up the RBI machine, Jared Cyrus, who is 2 for 2 with a home run, a single, and 4 runs driven in. He's halfway of the cycle, although he's got the quote-unquote easiest of the 4 legs done with the single. Does have the home run, so that's probably, I don't know, I'd categorize that as probably the second hardest. Triples Here at Hyatt Stadium, triple is maybe not the hardest to do because you got plenty of outfield gaps to hit and can run for a while, if you especially get in the right center field gap. Well, the triple might be the hardest to get through a cycle as it counts now 2-0.
The triple tends to be the fewest of the categories in terms of statistics. You generally, as a hitter, have fewer triples than any other type of hit during the year. Even doubles and home runs.
As the count is now 3-0 to Jared Cyrus. Probably thinking he'd be taking all the way. 3-0 pitch. That one will miss, and the bases are now loaded with one down. As that'll bring up Cade Russell, who is also halfway to the cycle. He's got a double and a single. So he does have the two hardest ones left to go.
Yep.
But Russell does have 2 RBIs. He got a 2 RBI single in his last at-bat. That came in the top of the third. That pushed the lead to 7-1. Bases are loaded here with one down. First pitch is upstairs for ball 1. Another doubleheader tomorrow. Post State will be taking on Mitchell. Same time, same place, same channel. 5 o'clock against Mitchell. As that one's upstairs, it is now 2-0.
Yeah, speaking of Mitchell, last week this Watertown team and Mitchell faced off in a doubleheader, and 2 big 6th innings for Watertown gave them the doubleheader sweep. First game, Watertown was down 12-6 going into the bottom of the 6th inning, and were able to plate 9 runs on just 1 base hit, that being a grand slam home run by Cale Stevenson. But 1 hit, but just a collection of walks, errors, hit batters, allowed Watertown to put base runners on ahead of that grand slam, and they ended up winning that game 15-12. And then in the second game, Watertown was up 4-3 going into the bottom of the 6th, and then they put another 9 spot, this time on just 3 base hits, and ended up winning that game 13-3.
It was a 4-pitch walk to Cade Russell, so he has drawn in another run, and it's now an 8-1 lead for Watertown. As Coach Brian White will make his way out to talk with talk with Cade Hinkle and his pitcher in Gary Nedved, with another action in the bullpen for Post State. Looks like maybe Brecken Kruger getting loose out in the right field bullpen for Post State. As you get down to it here, and especially with having another 2 games tomorrow, you're trying to limit how many guys pitch here in this game, because you're still going to be out with Matt Hansen and Bennett Dean going into now Saturday. That's the next time that they could pitch. So that's 2 pitchers that you don't have available at any point today or tomorrow. As the first pitch will miss low for ball 1 to Jack Heesh.
Yeah, and again, we have talked at different times about the depth of this Pierre pitching staff, and thankfully they do have the number of arms that they do, because even though they're dealing with a number of sore arms, injuries, and other maladies, you can go and are forced to go fairly deep into the staff, and luckily they've got enough arms to be able to get through, especially this week where they play three doubleheaders in 4 days.
1-2 pitch is fouled off the plate and off of Jack Heesh, and it remains at 1-2. Bases are loaded here with 1 down in the top of the 4th, an 8-1 lead for Watertown. Here's a 1-2 pitch. Just on the inside edge, maybe a little high, and the count's now 2 balls and 2 strikes. On deck's the top of the order. And Zach Hirsch. Here's now the 2-2 pitch. That one will bounce in, and the count's now full at 3-2. As Nedved is in danger of walking in another run. He's got 3 walks so far issued in the inning. Been 8 runs on 6 hits. It's going to be 8 runs on 8 hits for Watertown. That one is chopped to the plate. It is a foul ball. And we will do it again here at 2-2. That was really, really close, although I'd say that the umpire had the right call made, but it was very, very close to that ball being right on the line when Hinkle caught it.
Yeah, again, a ball that just popped off the plate and went foul, popped up in the air, and Hinkle.
As that one's grounded to Andy Gordon at third base, he'll throw it home for one. No chance to throw it over to first base, but they do get the runner at home. So it keeps the bases loaded, but it does not score a run. There's now 2 away, and that'll bring up the top of the order in Zach Hirsch.
Yeah, a nice one-hop ground ball to Andy Gordon at third base. Nice strong throw home, just a little bit high, and kind of threw the timing off. And Hinkle made the decision to hold on to the ball rather than try to force a throw to first base to try to complete the double play, and probably the right decision, and just give yourself a chance to live another day here in the top of the fourth.
That one's popped up, foul territory. Hinkle will give a long look. It'll be just actually stayed in play, but it hit the top of the bricks. It might have even gone off the netting, and the count's now 1-1. Boy, we've seen that a couple times now, where it lands right on the edge, whether it's on the other side, one side or the other of that of the netting. That's a tough play for anybody to make. Hinkle nearly made that play. Here's a 1-1 pitch. It's outside and is now 2-1.
Yeah, and the other thing that kind of comes into play over the next couple of days, not only is the pitching staff a little bit depleted, but both sides having to deal with the heat. We talked about 95 degrees today, and I think probably similar or maybe a little bit warmer tomorrow. I haven't seen what the high is projected to be.
I believe it's supposed to be about 100 degrees again tomorrow. Friday is supposed to be cooling off. That chance of severe weather, which we can say now as it counts 2-2. Make sure you keep it tuned all your Riverfront broadcasting stations. That one's grounded left side. Good play by Hansen, but just couldn't get the throw over to third base to get the runner. Andy Gordon tried to play first baseman over at third base, but he couldn't scoop it up. So it will score another run. The bases will remain loaded as it's now a 9-1 lead for Watertown.
Ground ball that pulled Matt Hansen deep into the hole on the left side, and not only did he make a really nice play to come up with the ball, he also made the right decision and figured out very quickly that his only play was going to be to try to get the force at third base and tried to throw on the run, and when he did, he was just the throw just kind of short hopped Andy Gordon. Like you said, he tried to pick the throw much like a first baseman would do, and wasn't able to come up with it.
1-0 pitch is fouled back out of play, and it's now 1-1. Was an air charge to Hansen on the play, so the bases remain loaded. 9-1 is their score. Andrew Check is at the plate. He is 0 for 2 so far. And there's a ground ball to the right side. Weeby will come in, takes a high hop into his chest, but he's able to make the play and flip it to Benedine at first base to retire the side. Here in the top of the fourth inning. Another 2-run score for Watertown on just one hit in the inning, one error, and 3 men left on base. We head to the bottom of the fourth, a 9-1 lead for Watertown over Pierre. Back in a minute, you listen to Post-State Baseball on today's KCCR and today's KCCR.com.
Verdict Electric has a long history of doing electrical work the right way. Economical service, professional work, and customer satisfaction is why they can say that. Verdict Electric can do residential, farm, and commercial projects. Doesn't matter if they are charged with new construction or a remodel project, they get it conducted. Contact the staff at Verdict Electric at 224-8684. They can light a spark into your next project. Verdict Electric, 224-8684.
Are you driving a 2014 or newer vehicle? Are there less than 100,000 miles on it? Gateway Ford Lincoln Toyota in Pierre is prepared to give you top dollar. Again, if your ride is 2014 or newer with less than 100,000 miles, Gateway Ford Lincoln Toyota will give you top dollar for it right now. Trade it in or sell it to us. Doesn't matter. Your vehicle has never been worth more than it is right now. Stop in at 518 East Sioux Avenue in Pierre. Call 605-224-7378 and visit gatewayflt.com.
Bottom of the fourth, Post-State trailing by 8, 9-1 here in the bottom of the fourth inning. It's going to be 3, 4, and 5. Andy Gordon, Benedine, and Spencer Lettler by reaches base would be Jack Merquan. As the Eights have a lot of work in front of them once again, as Cale Stevenson has been good so far through those 3 innings. He's got 2 1-2-3 innings under his belt, but he will deal here with the meat of the order in 3, 4, and 5.
Stevenson so far on the day, 3 innings pitched, 2 hits, 1 run. It was earned, no walks, 4 strikeouts. Just 41 pitches through those 3 innings. But like you said, John, we'll face the heart of the post-8 batting order here in the bottom of the 4th.
Gordon in his first at-bat struck out swinging. Here's the first pitch from Stevenson to Gordon. And we'll bounce in front of the plate. And it's a 1-0 count. Post State with just 2 hits so far. Both of them came back-to-back at-bats from Dean and Lettler. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Upstairs is now 2-0. The lone RBI was a ground out by Matt Hansen. They got Post State on the board. Put him down 4-1 at that point. But 5 straight, 3 in the third and 2 in the fourth, has made it 9-1. There's a ground ball over towards Coach White again at third base. He's been strong over there. He's 2 for 2 on plays. That time he actually threw the ball back to the pitcher. Give it a little bit more effort over at coaching third base on those ground balls that are foul. Here's the 2-1 pitch. That one is upstairs and is now 3-1.
For Watertown, after today, they are off until Sunday, where they've got a doubleheader against Brookings at Bob Sheldon Field, and then they come back to host Fargo post 400 on Monday, and then Harrisburg on Tuesday. So again, a three doubleheader and 3-day stretch for post 17 next week.
3-1 pitch was missed for ball 4, and Andy Gordon is on first base here to open up the bottom of the 4th inning. And that'll bring up Bennett Dean, who has one of the 2 hits so far for Post State. That one will be a pickoff attempt, and Gordon back in safely. I believe they've changed the scoring from an error for Hansen to now a credited base hit to Zach Hirsch. As Dean will pop up the first pitch to the left side. Out in left field is Hirsch. He'll make the catch, and there's one down here in the bottom of the 4th inning.
Yeah, fastball up that Dean just wasn't able to get around on. Flies out to short left field, and so with a runner on and 1 out, we'll see if Spencer Lettler can keep this inning going.
And a base hit through the left side on his first at-bat. Here's the first pitch to the center fielder. He'll swing and ground this one back to Stevenson, but he missed it as the throw to first is not going to be in time. So it's going to be first and second here with 1 down. That one kind of ate up Stevenson at the mound. I don't know if it hit something in front of the mound where he couldn't make the play, but everybody's safe. And it's first and second, 1 down, and that'll bring up now Jack Merquan.
Yeah, I think the key term is ate up Stevenson. Just a ball that as it hit the front of the mound, kind of took maybe just a little bit of a hop that Stevenson was not expecting. Probably came up on him a little quicker than he was expecting, and went off the heel of his glove. And when it did, went past Stevenson to where he actually fielded it right in front of second base. Did not have a play in terms of trying to retire Gordon, tried to make the throw to first base, but the speedy Spencer Lettler got down the line in time.
First 2 pitches missed to Jack Merquan. The count's 2-0. The left fielder who grounded into a fielder's choice. His first at-bat. Here's the 2-0 from Stevenson to Merquan. That one is over for a strike. And the count is now 2-1. On deck is Matt Hansen, then it'll be Gary Nedved. Post State got to try and mount a rally here as we play in the bottom of the 4th, down by 8. Here's a 2-1 pitch. Check over at second. Delivers a 2-1. That one's chopped foul over the third baseman. And the count is now even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. It's a doubleheader, so we got game 2 in store for you after this one concludes. It'll be about 20 to 30 minutes after the first game concludes. And if you're watching on YouTube at KCCR Sports, just like we have been throughout the season of both spring baseball and now for Legion baseball, we'll end the broadcast on YouTube and then come back with game number 2 about 20 minutes later as a 2-2 pitch is taken for a strike, and Merquan goes down at looking, and there's now 2 away. And that'll bring up Matt Hansen, who has to find a way to drive in at least one of these 2 runs.
Yeah, there's that off-speed pitch from Stevenson, and he obviously has a lot of confidence with that off-speed pitch, especially when he gets ahead in the count, and Merquan not able to pull the trigger on that one.
Hansen will pop the first pitch up on the right side. A diving play by the first baseman and Russell, but he couldn't make the catch. Nearly had it. Could not see if he had made the catch at first because when he dove, he got below the dugout where we lost sight of him. But he nearly made that play, and the count is now 0-1 to Hansen. Again, had an RBI ground out. In his first at-bat, scored the lone run so far for Post State. A little meeting between Locker and Stevenson. We're talking signals here as there is a runner on second with 2 away.
Yeah, Stevenson's not a real big kid out there. Probably about 5'8", 5'9", but pretty compact. Pretty muscular. Like I said, able to generate nice velocity. But I think that out pitch is really that off-speed pitch that he really has confidence in when he's up on the count.
Here's now the 0-2 pitch to Hansen. That comes inside. It's now 1-2. The 0-1 was a swing by Hansen. I think he was maybe almost looking off speed and was well behind on the pitch that came in. It came up and in on him too, and when he tried to get the swing, was one that didn't look so good from Matt Hansen. Here's the 1-2 pitch. He'll swing and miss at that one, and he goes down on strikes, and that will end the inning here in the bottom of the 4th. No runs on no hits, 1 error, and 2 men left on base. We head to the top of the 5th. It is a 9-1 lead for Watertown over Post State. Back in a minute, you're listening to Post State Baseball on today's KCCR and today's KCCR.com.
Overhead Door Company of Pierre is a locally owned business specializing in the sale, service, and installation of residential and commercial garage doors. They provide quality, dependable products with constant service and the peace of mind you need. Overhead Door is one of the most recognized and most respected brand in the garage door industry. For installation and repairs, call Overhead Door Company today at 224-6200. That's 224-6200.
Wondering what to do with the pitted and rutted drive? B&B Equipment will get you covered. Wanting to put something down the ground? B&B Equipment will put a hole in your project. Need to even up that property? B&B Equipment can fill that need. B&B Equipment can deliver all your gravel and material needs. B&B Equipment is here for all your excavation needs. Contact B&B Equipment, 224-6727. A contractor here for you. That's B&B Equipment, 224-6727.
It'll be 3, 4, and 5 here for Watertown as we head to the top of the 5th inning. Dawson Schmidt, Braxton Locker, and Cale Stevenson. Anybody reaches base, it'll be Braden Zog. As Watertown leads by 8 here in the top of the 5th inning. Gary Nedved's out for his second inning of work. And for Nedved, again, as we are getting later in this ball game, it becomes very simple. You can't let Watertown score any more runs because 2 more runs, and all of a sudden Post State would have to score in the bottom of the 5th just to keep the ball game moving. As the first pitch here from Nedved to Dawson Schmidt. He skies that one up in the infield. Calling for it is Dean, now giving way for Wiebe, who will drop it. And the leadoff man is on first base.
Yeah, and again, just unfortunate. Just Wiebe calls Dean off as the ball was right on the edge of the infield grass, and just at the very last second, as the ball settled into Wiebe's glove, he goes to close the glove and just squirts out of there, and Schmidt finds his way on the Wiebe error.
So now that is officially the first error of the ball game for Post State. As it'll bring up Braxton Locker, the catcher. First pitch is in the dirt, and a good block by Hinkle. when things go well for you, everything seems to fall in place. You get base hits to fall when normally they shouldn't. And when things don't go so well for you, it just seems like you can't find a way to make a simple play too. As that 1-0 pitch is a swing and a miss, it's now 1-1. That's a play that Wiebe will make 99 times out of 100. But with the struggle that Post State has had so far, it just kind of is par for the course, trying to get out of this slump that Post State is in right now. 1-1 pitch is inside and is now 2-1.
Yeah, and we know that Jaden Wiebe is a quality baseball player. We saw it a lot in the spring, and unfortunately, that was just a ball that he was not able to come up with for whatever reason, and so now the Eights got to work their way out of a leadoff, allowing the leadoff batter on here, down 9-1 here in the top of the fifth.
2-2 pitch. That one will miss low. It's a good block again by Hinkle, and the count's now 3-2 here to Locker, who is 1 for 3 with a double. He grounded out both the other 2 times he's been retired. Runner on first base here in the top of the fifth with nobody away. The one guy that we know will pitch today is Isaac Pollock. He'll be the game 2 starter as a 3-2 pitch is outside, low, and it's now a walk in first and second here with nobody away to bring up Cale Stevenson, who has been on base all 3 times. The next 4 hitters in the lineup, Stevenson, Zog, Cyrus, and Russell, have not been retired. There's been a fielder's choice in there, but they have been on base all 3 times. So these guys have reached base 12 times out of 12. They've come to the plate. That one's popped up on the right side. Dean giving chase. He's going to run out of room. As it one just actually landed inside the dugout, but I think Dean could reach far enough to make that play. So it's now 0-1. But there's another case where things go right. That ball's about maybe 6 inches a little bit closer, and Dean's able to make the catch. And instead now that one is shot out to left field. Merkwan going back. That's over his head. That's going to get down for extra bases. As 1 run will come in to score. Locker will be held up at third base, and it's now a 10-1 lead for Watertown.
Yeah, Merkwan's been a busy outfielder today. I think that's the 4th double, and 4th double all have been to left field, along with the Cyrus home run that went to left field. So in addition to a couple of line drive base hits out there, so Merkwan's gotten as much work as just about any peer defender today.
First pitch to Braden Zog is missed for ball 1. That's the second double from Stevenson. Picked up his first RBI. The 1-0 pitch is missed low, and it's now 2-0. Cyrus would be on deck. It'll be Cade Russell. Here's the 2-0 pitch. There's a ground ball on the left side. It'll be fielded by Hanson. The throw to first is a low one picked out by Dean at first. And there's one down, but the run does come in to score, so it's now 11-1 lead here with 1 away in the top of the 5th inning.
Yeah, and right now you got to believe that this is Gary Nedved will probably be on the mound however long this game lasts. This is probably his game to finish, whether this game goes 5, 6, or 7 innings, as long as he doesn't run into that 105 pitch count limit.
First pitch to Cyrus is popped foul out of play. He is 2 for 2. 3-run homer in the second. RBI single in the third. And he also walked in the fourth. Here's the 0-1 pitch. And Cyrus out towards left center field as Spencer Lettler will get underneath that one to make the catch. And as he slips and falls as he's throwing it back in. But over to third base will be Stevenson without a play. And there's now 2 down. Get a little cautious, a little worried whenever you see Lettler fall down at all. You know what that, because as harmless as that was, you never know when that shoulder might give way a little bit and to the point where Lettler has to come out of the ball game. As Cade Russell now comes to the plate, first pitch is upstairs for ball 1. with a runner on third base and 2 away here in the top of the 5th.
Yeah, and that's, not unlike the play that where he pulled himself out of the game on Sunday. That was a play where as he went back to pick up a ball that had gone over his head and on the warning track, he kind of slipped and tumbled, just kind of what you would normally think is kind of a harmless fall, and just rolled, and when he came up, you could just tell that shoulder was giving him issues.
As that one's popped up in foul territory, Hinkle going over near the third base dugout and can't make the play. And it's now 1-2. That's a tough play over there by the third base dugout. Is probably not getting a whole lot of help from the Watertown opponent, and he's trying to avoid running into the dugout so he stays in the field of play, but also being right next to the fence in front and just dropped in front of him. And the count's now 1-2. He ran a long way for it. Andy Gordon was over there too. Ball's just a little bit higher. The play's probably made, but fell just short. That one's popped up. That one will be fouled. That one will get out of play as it'll land just out of play. It was in line with us. It just wasn't hit back far enough towards us.
Yeah, Hinkle had to go far to his left, all the way to the third base dugout for the first foul ball. This time didn't come all the way to the netting on the right side, but did turn around and give an effort to see where it was going to come down at.
That one's fouled back on the 1-2 pitch again from Russell. He is 2 for 2, 3 runs driven in so far, double, single, and a walk. In the bottom of the 5th inning right now, Post State would have 8-9-1, and they need at least 1 run to score to keep the ball game alive. Here's a 1-2 pitch. That one will bounce. It gets away from Hinkle, not far enough, and the count's now 2-2. Again, Isaac Pollock is the Game 2 starter out in right field here in game number 1, but will be that Game 2 starter, and you're looking for a solid effort, a solid outing from him. 2-2 pitch. That one is at the knees and taken for strike 3, and that will retire the side here in the top of the 5th inning. So 2-run score once again on 1 hit in the inning, 1 error, and 1 man left on base. We head to the bottom of the 5th. Post State needs 1 run to keep the ball game alive. They trail Watertown 11-1. Listen to Post State Baseball on today's KCCR and today's KCCR.com.
Innovation. It's right here. Avera St. Mary's Hospital keeps care local for you and your family, offering comprehensive care that has earned 4 out of 5 stars by the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services in hospital performance and safety. Avera St. Mary's world-class care is further supported by advanced technology, 2-way video e-consults, 3D mammography, and a state-of-the-art birthing center, so you and your family don't have to go anywhere else, because innovation lives right here in Pierre. Learn more at avera.org/news.
Your home and business are important to you, and you need quality furnace and air conditioning products and service. With a combined 50-plus years of experience, AirTech Heating and Cooling provides you with just that service. Call 945-0160 for sales, service, and installation of furnaces, air conditioning, and heat pumps. AirTech Heating and Cooling features the American Standard products. Sales, installation, and service. You want the best, and that's what you'll find at AirTech Heating and Cooling in Pierre.
As we head to the bottom of the 5th inning at 8-9-1, Gary Nedved, Isaac Pollock, and Cade Hinkle to lead things off, needing 1 run to keep this ball game alive as they trail 11-1 right now. Stevenson looking to go the distance, but it'll deal with Nedved, Pollock, and Hinkle here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Post State with just 2 hits so far. They came back in the 2nd inning. Bennett Dean and Spencer Lettler went back-to-back singles. An RBI ground out got the lone run so far, as it's been a struggle for Post State here in game number 1 of this doubleheader. Game 2 will be coming up shortly after the first game ends, but if you're Post State, you're hoping that it goes all 7 innings. You don't want this ball game ending prematurely here in the bottom of the 5th. Here's first pitch from Stevenson to Nedved. That one's over for strike 1.
Nedved coming into the game, hitting 143 on the year, 1 hit and 7 at bats. He's got the only triple of the year so far for Post State. Scored 1 run. So right now what the Eights need is just start, like we talked about a little earlier, just need to string together a couple of good at bats, and hopefully you can start it with Gary Nedved right here.
0-1 pitch miss, and the 1-1 pitch coming in, that's fouled back. And the count's now 1-2. Nevin struck out looking in his first trip to the plate, as Stevenson has been good throughout this ball game with 6 total strikeouts. Here's the 1-2 pitch. That one misses just a little bit inside and is now 2-2. I think Stevenson thought he had strikeout number 7. But Nedved will live for at least another pitch, trying to be that leadoff man to get on base. Here's a 2-2 from Stevenson. Comes upstairs, and the count's now full at 3-2.
And Stevenson does a nice job moving the ball around the zone. I mean, that off-speed pitch really dives as it comes in, and then he'll come back and go with a fastball up in the zone to change the hitter's eye levels.
As Nedved will lace the 3-2 pitch into center field for a base hit, and the leadoff man is on base to begin the bottom of the 5th inning, as it'll be Isaac Pollock now at the plate. As they trail by 10 here in the bottom of the 5th, Pollock 0 for 1. He struck out looking in his first at-bat. Be a nice little confidence boost right here to get a base hit, especially getting ready to pitch in game number 2. First pitch will chop off the plate. It'll be a high chopper on the mound for Stevenson. He'll throw Pollock out at first, the only play that he had, and there's now 1 down to bring up the top of the order. It almost goes down as a sacrifice, but it will unfortunately not be down as a sacrifice, but it is a 1-3 putout. And now here's Cade Hinkle. Be Hinkle and Wiebe, next 2 hitters, to try and drive in Nedved to at least move this ball game into a 6th inning. Maybe even better, start a long comeback against Watertown. First pitch is outside for ball 1.
As you said earlier, Hinkle hitting .389 on the year, 7 hits and 18 at bats. He's got 1 double with a pair of RBIs, 5 runs scored. Leads the team in walks with 5 so far through the first week of the season.
1-0 pitch is upstairs and is now 2-0. Here to the catcher, Cade Hinkle. It'll be followed by Wiebe and then Andy Gordon as the 2-0 pitch here from Stevenson to Hinkle. A long pause, a throw upstairs, and it's now 3-0.
With those 5 walks and 7 hits, Hinkle leads the team in on-base percentage at .542 with a .986 OPS on the year so far.
Count is 3-0 here to Hinkle. 3-0 pitch is upstairs for ball 4, and is now first and second to bring up now Jaden Wiebe. Wiebe is 0 for 2. He struck out swinging and also grounded out to the third baseman, as we'll have a mound visit here with 1 down the bottom of the 5th inning.
Stevenson 68 pitches through 4 1/3. 3 hits allowed, 1 run. It was earned, 2 walks, 6 strikeouts on the day for Cale Stevenson, but 40 strikes through 68 pitches, 19 batters faced. So he's on average just a little bit over 3 pitches a batter. I mean that's very efficient, especially if you can your strike rate is hanging just a little bit under that 66% mark. So he's been very efficient so far for this post-17 team.
Here's the first pitch to Jaden Wiebe, who will pop it foul out of play. And the count is 0-1 here to Wiebe, looking for his first base hit. 3 hits so far for Post State. 11 runs, 10 hits, 1 error from Watertown. 1 run, 3 hits, 1 error from Pierre. As they're in danger of falling 3 games under 500, but a run keeps the ball game alive. We got to find a way to score here in the bottom of this 5th inning. Runners are at first and second here with 1 down. Here's the 0-1 pitch from Stevenson to Wiebe. Swinging and foul, tips it, and it's now 0-2.
Wiebe comes into the day hitting .200 on the Legion season, 3 hits and 15 at bats, all singles. He's got 3 RBIs, scored a run, has 1 walk on the year.
Down 0-2 in the count here Stevenson will come set from the stretch. Delivers the 0-2 pitch. That one will bounce in the dirt. Gets away from Locker far enough for both runners to move up 90 feet. So now all of a sudden the run that will keep the ball game moving is now 90 feet away. And a fly ball in the outfield will be just as good as a base hit. Here's the 1-2 pitch from Stevenson. Swings and misses, does Wiebe, and he's down on strikes, and there's now 2 away. And it is up to Andy Gordon to pick up the run here in the bottom of the 5th inning.
Got some action down in the Watertown bullpen. Connor Hansen down getting loose. I suspect as that's the 72nd pitch of the day for Cale Stevenson, they likely are going to try to keep him under 80 pitches if possible in order to allow him to pitch on Sunday. That'll be the next doubleheader for this Watertown team.
As the first pitch was outside, Andy Gordon went to the displeasure of the Watertown coaching staff, as that one is also outside and is now 2-0. You can hear him say how many more times. I think he's not been happy with the outside strike zone, or outside portion of the strike zone. Here's a 2-0 pitch. That one's upstairs, and the count's now 3-0 here to Gordon. Gordon drew a walk back in the 4th inning. He let things off at that point in the bottom of the 4th. Now here's the 3-0 pitch. That one's over for a strike, and the count's now at 3-1. Good hitters count here for Gordon to drive in that run from third base. And with 2 outs, Hinkle on at second. A base hit could score 2. Would most likely score 2. Here's a 3-1 pitch. Gordon swings and misses, and the count's now full at 3-2. On deck is Bennett Dean. Either Gordon or Dean. If Gordon gets on base and draws a walk, then it's up to Dean. He has to get on base to keep the ball game alive. Here's a 3-2 pitch from Stevenson to Gordon. Checks his swing, but he says he went around, and that's strike 3, and that's the end of the ball game. A 10-run rule as no runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 2 men left on base. Ends it here in the 5th inning, 11-1 win for Watertown over Pierre in game number 1. We step aside for 2 minutes, come back to wrap up game number 1. You're listening to Post-8 Baseball on today's KCCR and today's KCCR.com.
Most of us already know that Gales Gas of Pierre is the place to call for propane. They offer an automatic fill plan so you never have to worry about running out of propane. They accept debit and credit payments or a budget payment plan to spread out the cost throughout the year so you never have surprises when you get your bill. For delivery, convenience, and great customer service, call Gales Gas at 224-5518. That's Gales Gas at 224-5518.
No one likes to have electrical problems, but when they happen, call Todd's Electric at 223-2518. With over 28 years of experience, Todd's Electric can handle any type of electrical problem, whether it's residential, commercial, or agricultural. Their knowledgeable staff knows and understands the importance of your home, business, or ag facility and are prepared to help. Call Todd's Electric at 223-2518. That's 223-2518. Todd's Electric, serving the Pierre and Fort Pierre areas. The line to power.
When something just isn't right, it's natural to talk about it.
If you had a toothache, you'd tell someone. If you found out you had diabetes, you'd learn to take care of it.
But when you're feeling stressed, sad, or worried, you're less likely to tell someone.
Why do we treat physical and mental health so differently?
There is no difference. We all need someone to talk to, and there's nothing shameful about wanting to be healthy for you.
When you just need someone to talk to, contact Rising Hope Counseling at 494-1500 or risinghope605.com.
Rising Hope Counseling, offering hope, healing, and change.
Rising Hope Counseling, because if you have hope,
you have everything.
Hey, it's Julia from Milwaukee Federal Credit Union, letting you know that our recreational special is back again, with terms up to 10 years, no payments for 90 days, and rates as low as 2.4% APR. Apply online or stop in at 221 East Pleasant Drive in Pierre and let Jameson or I get you started.
People helping people. Hawaii Federal Credit Union.
As we welcome you back here to Heinz Stadium, it is a final in game number 1 A 11-1 win for Watertown over Post State, as we will bring Coach Nathan Nas in to talk just a little bit here after that first game. John Weckler alongside Greg Dean, and joining us is Nathan Nas. As Coach, first game here today didn't go as planned, and the second inning kind of seems to be the one that gets away from you guys right now.
Yeah, it's kind of been our MO so far to start out this year. That game 1, inning 2, we just can't quite get through it.
And you know, and that's and you want to credit Watertown. You know, they scored 4 runs and they got 3 hits, but they hit Brady Getz. They got a couple doubles and a home run in that inning, so they hit the ball well. But again, the walks just kind of mounting a little bit too much, especially in that first game.
Yeah, you got to tip your hats to Watertown in that game. They're a good team. They hit the ball well. I believe they're a team that's played post 22 4 times and beat them 3 out of the 4, and you usually don't see that from another South Dakota team. So they're a good ball club, no doubt about it. We can't help them out the way we did.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of the story, is just the fact that the pitching staff just continues to just have some challenges. I mean, you not only had 8 walks in 5 innings in this first game, but you also had at least I think 1 hit batter. One hit batter. So 9 free passes to go along with the 9 hits given up today. That's a lot of base runners in 5 innings.
Yeah, that is. And then we got to help our pitchers out, and you know, they're having some long innings, and then we're going up to the plate, and I think we have like 6 or 7 base runners that whole game and some quick innings. So we got to do a better job at the plate helping our pitchers out. You know, John and I talked this spring when that game I came up and was on the air with you a little bit about getting quality at bats. Because it seems like whenever we're struggling on the mound, you know, we go to the plate and we're not getting their starting pitcher out of his rhythm or even out of the game, and that's going to be big, especially later in the season.
As you guys are now 2-5 on the year, but a win keeps you with a split here with Watertown. The message to the guys to kind of get this game out of their mind and get ready for game number 2.
Yeah, absolutely. This will be, with playing the doubleheader against Mitchell tomorrow and then Renner's second Legion team on Saturday. Even if we can't come away with a win in this one, we got to go out there and just all around from top to bottom on the mound, in the field, at the plate, guys being locked in the dugout. We just got to put together a better game here, especially going into this weekend.
Yeah, and I think that's something, and you're asking. I think the kids that are on the field are certainly putting forward the effort right now. Just right now, we talked about it. You're just in one of those funks where it doesn't matter what you do. A foul ball lands just in the dugout. A pop fly in the infield squirts out of your glove, and everything that Watertown hit seemed to be right on the nose and hit on a line.
Yeah, absolutely. We can't fault the effort of the kids. We just gotta put things together from the beginning of the game to the end of the game, and I think as the season goes, you know, we'll get everyone back. People have been gone for different things here and there, and so really getting everyone back on a consistent basis at games, in practice, as we go here, will be big for us, and our kids they'll always battle and they'll always work hard. So we just got to keep chipping away, keep working on doing the little things right, and we'll be all right.
And I think your Game 2 starter, as you're listening to KCCR Pierre Riverfront Broadcasting Station, your Game 2 starter, Isaac Pollock, I think that's a guy to kind of help turn things around, because he's a guy that is pretty consistent all the way throughout. You know what you're going to get out of Isaac Pollock, and he's that quiet leader that he leads by example by what he does. Yeah,
he really does, and you kind of, right now we hit the nail on the head for what we got to do. We got to find those guys that'll step up and lead, whether it is a Pollock on the mound who's leading by example, or it's some of those other guys stepping up and becoming vocal leaders. That's really one of the things I think we really got to improve on quickly, or this summer could get away from us, is finding those guys that can step up and be the leaders of the team, whether it's older guys or younger guys. We just got to have a couple guys be willing to step up and take that role. Some of them might have to step outside their comfort zone like an Andy Gordon or a Bennett Dean or an Isaac Pollock, who are usually the quiet leaders that might have to step up and find some vocals out of them too.
Well, and probably one of the other things that you hadn't expected coming into this season is you're just kind of beat up right now. I mean, you're dealing with some arm issues, and you're dealing with some injuries that you certainly weren't expecting, and we kind of alluded to an example of Spencer Lettler, who's going out and battling every day, even though he's got a shoulder that's certainly giving him issues, and so you've got a bit of a depleted roster that you certainly, and probably for the first time since you've been coaching this team, you haven't had this kind of injury bug.
No, and you're exactly right. Like Spencer Lettler, who goes out and makes a pretty routine throw in and then slips a little bit. Yeah, his shoulder's so in and out of the socket that something as routine as that, where he just falls a little bit and catches himself a little bit, we got to check on him and yell out there, like, make sure his shoulder's still in place. And just some other guys that, some non-throwing arm issues just from, little things here and there that, and that's kind of what we talked to the guys about is, we got guys on the bench, but we got injuries on the bench where they're not ready to go yet. So we just got to keep battling and keep doing what we can do.
And what's it going to take here for this second game to pick up a win?
Throw strikes and we got to put together some better ABs, and we've talked to them a little bit about being situational hitters. If we go out there, the first guy's a quick out, the next guy's got to work on, maybe a pitch count at bat where that pitcher gets up and pitches a little bit. I think if we can throw strikes and we can do a better job of getting their starting pitcher's pitch count up, those will be the two keys I think to this one.
Coach, I appreciate the time. Thanks for coming up here and talking with us, and good luck here in game number 2.
Appreciate it. Thank you, guys.
As Coach Nathan Nas of Post State as they fall in game number 1, 11-1, as we'll have game number 2 here shortly. We will step aside and come back in 2 minutes and have for you Zach's News, the weekday news for News Director Zach Nelson. We'll have that, and then we'll come back with more of and get you back for game 2 of the doubleheader between Watertown and Post State. Back in a little bit, you're listening to Post State Baseball. Today is KCCR.